Hey friends, V here and happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, February 13th, 2023. 2024. And I'm here with my second official live tutorial on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for being here. I don't want to spend too much time chatting, so I'm going to quickly go through the materials you need to create a paper flower. And then we will get right into the process. So for today's tutorial, I am using the Destinee Rose template. This is considered a small rose pattern. It comes with 10 different petal sizes, and today we're using petal 9 and 10 to make the largest that we possibly can. You can purchase my printable paper flower templates in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description of this live video. And they are printable. So you're going to get the printable version. You will cut outside of the black line. You can print on a thicker paper, so that way you have a sturdy pattern to use. So that's first. You're also going to need some scissors as we hand trace and hand cut all of our petals. You're also going to need a pencil to trace. I'm using some wood dowels to help style and shape. This is going to be the 5/16 inch dowel as well as the 3/8 inch dowel. I will be using 65-pound lavender cardstock. This specific color is from the Michaels Purple Passion paper pack, but as long as you're using 65-pound cardstock, you should be good to go on, whatever color you choose. I am going to try and see if I can get in the chat with you guys or see the chat. Hey everyone. Hey Mary, hey Anita, and hey Cindy. Thank you guys for being here. All right, so once you have your cardstock, the petals you need from your template, hey Maggie, along with your dowel, scissors, your pencil, and of course a hot glue gun. I'm using my Gorilla Dual Temp, always on high, with Gorilla Glue sticks. I did put the item details in the description of this video, along with the links to my Amazon storefront for those that are interested in a new glue gun. Hello, Darlene. Hey, Christy. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to need to trace and cut out my petals. Now, if you are unable or would prefer not to hand cut your petals, I do include a PNG file format with every template, so you can upload to Cricut Design Space. Now, it is a single petal within the file. Once you upload it to your canvas, you're going to duplicate the petal, but then you will resize each petal based off of the measurements that I provide you, okay? So first things first, you are going to need 16 of petal 9 and 20 of petal 10, okay? So I'm going to start off by tracing both petals 2 times on one sheet of cardstock. Thank you to everyone who is here. I'm trying to learn the ropes of YouTube Live. I am finding it, there's a lot more details involved when it comes to the live and what I'm sharing, like as far as like what I have to enter before I start. But I do love the view because my phone is not super high on my phone stand, on the holster. It's actually really low and I can see the screen on my phone versus, having to lift it so high. It kind of just gets everything. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any upcoming live videos. So now I'm going to go ahead and take, what I'm doing is I'm tracing each petal 2 times on one sheet, but I am taking 3 sheets underneath so that way I can cut out multiple at once, okay? So 4, 8, 12, 16, 4, 8, 12, 16. All I'm going to need is 4 more of petal 10. So I'm simply going to trace it twice. And then I'm going to fold this one sheet in half. That's going to give me my 20 for petal 10. Again, Destinee Rose is considered a small rose pattern. And I'm using petal 9 and 10, 16 and 20 petals is what you're going to need. So I'm done tracing. I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and begin to cut. Hello, Patsy. Hey, Deborah. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. I'm making these lavender roses. Hey, Jennifer. Thanks, Sherry. Hey, when one platform is not being fair, I got to know how to move to the next, you know? Because there's no reason I shouldn't be able to go live in landscape mode on that other platform. Now, if you have any pencil marks, just erase those, okay? With your pencil, you don't want those to show through. Hey, Erica. Hey, Desiree. Hey, Donna. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know what you think about the YouTube lives in comparison to what y'all normally see me do over on Facebook. I want to get your thoughts. I know not everyone has Facebook, but I think everyone pretty much accesses YouTube at one point or another. So I love it. I love that it gives me so much of the screen that y'all can see. Sherry, I do not know, but I do not want to risk it. Girl, it's only day 2 on YouTube Live. I'm not trying to get restricted. I want to say I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Yeah, for sure. So let me go ahead and separate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 layers of 4 petals of petal 10, and there are 4 layers of 4 petals on petal 9. Okay. Now that we have our petals cut out, I will say for those of you that are new here, roses are the most challenging to make because of the way that they're assembled. They are going to take time and practice. So I'm going to take my first set of 4 petals on petal 9, and I'm going to take my yellow, we'll take our pink 1/2 inch dowel, and we're just going to shape our petals so that way they're kind of curved already. And you're going to do that for 3 of your 4 layers. Now I am curling 4 petals at a time. Hey, Erica. Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that share button down below. Share it on your Facebook pages, your Instagram stories, your Pinterest. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So now what I'm going to do is, oh, I'm sorry, I said 3 of 4. I did it on the 4th. On the 4th layer, you're going to take your red 5/16 dowel and you're actually going to curl the edges away. You don't necessarily need to curl it like I just did, but I was lost in the process. So it's going to look like that. So you're going to take your first 4 petals. You are going to create a crease to separate the base tab from the petal itself. So I'm going to go ahead and crease just so that way I know where the boundary line is, okay? Now, once you have 2 petals, you're going to attach them at the tab of both petals. And then you're going to bring these up to create a funnel, also known as the rosebud. So I'm going to go ahead and push these together. If you want to keep them flat on your table so that way it doesn't move the base, you're going to give the same amount of pressure on both sides so that way this center point stays centered. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hold my left tab in place while I add glue to the inner edge of the top curve. And I'm going to slowly bring it around to close it. Move your fingers so you do not burn yourself as you close it up. I want to see if I can zoom in. I don't want to mess it up. Ooh. Okay. Sorry. It zooms in like so fast. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. So now this bottom piece, I'm going to go ahead and add glue on the inner edge as well and then close it up. Same thing. Okay. So I have my now rosebud creation. What I'm going to do next is I am going to take my next 2 petals and I'm going to go to the open edges of what we've already created. I'm going to add glue to the next tab in the center since this is not very wide. And I'm going to bring this straight edge right up to the crease to where the petal can still lift, but you want it to go all the way to that crease that we created. And you're going to go to the opposite side and do the same thing. So take this straight edge, go up to the crease, and you're good there. Now, I'm going to take the tab or the petal on the left. It's already pre-shaped, but I'm going to bring it closer to the rosebud that we've already created. And I am going to add glue on the inner edges of the petal on the opposite side. Once I do that, I'm going to bring the petal on the right up and closer, and I'm going to allow it to grab onto the petal that I'm holding in place right when I feel they're at the same distance away from the center. And then I'm going to press those edges down so that way they grab on. This completes your first set of 4 petals. You're going to continue this process on the next layer. You're going to take 4 petals. I'm going to crease to separate the base from the tab or the petals themselves. You continue going to the opposite sides that are open, and that's when you're going to attach your petals. Okay, so we're going to continue. Now, you're going to take your left petal again. It's pre-curled, so it's going to be easier to just position it in place. Okay, I'm holding it from the bottom. You're going to give yourself distance in between the previous layers and what you're already adding. Add glue on the inner edges of the petal on the right. Bring it up. Do not let it grab onto the petal you're holding in place until you're comfortable with the distance on both sides. Go ahead and press down. And then you're going to continue for the next 2 petals. go to the straight edge, opposite of each other, again, the open side, and repeat again. You're going to hold the petal on the left in place, giving itself distance from the petals in front of it. Add your glue, bring this up, and let it grab onto the petal you're holding in place. Hello, Kim. How are you? Thank you guys for joining. Just like that. So you've completed 8 layers of petals, or 8 petals total already. Now we're going into our next layer of petals, which is layer 3. Every 4 petals is what I consider a layer. We're going to crease the tab just to make sure it's double creased, because I know I already creased it. Go again to the open sides. Even though you can't see through it anymore, it's still an open edge of a triangle. You're going to add glue to one side all the way up to the crease. Just don't cross over the crease, and do the opposite on the right. Okay. Now, because the rosebud is getting wider, but the petal sizes are the same, you're going to get to the point where you should be gluing each petal individually, meaning the petal on the right isn't going to be able to reach the petal on the left without being really snug to each other, and you don't want that. You want these to continue to bloom out. So on this these 2 petals, I'm going to add them individually. So I'm going to go to my left petal, add 2 dots of hot glue, bring it up to the rosebud, and press down on those sides. And then I'm going to go to the right and do the same thing. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. And now I'm going to go here and bring it up. Okay, so I'm almost done with my 3rd layer. I have 2 more to go. So again, go opposite of each other and add these next 2 petals. Straight edge. You now have a square at the bottom of your rosebud. You're going to take the straight edge up to the crease. You can go ahead and add your glue. I just add 1 dot. You don't need a terrible amount. And you're going to bring this up so that way this layer is more open than the previous layers. Okay? You're continuously building and opening that rosebud with each petal. Go to the opposite side, glue, dot, dot, bring it up. Okay? Now, you've completed 12 petals. We're going to go to our last layer of the same petal size. The difference is that we curled the edges away, okay? So I'm still going to crease the base to separate the petal itself from the way that we attach the petals to the project, to the rest of the rosebud. I'm going to take one going to the open side. Okay. Now, your glue placement is going to be different. It's going to be in the lower bottom edges. And you're going to do like a 1-inch strand of a decent amount of glue. You're going to let it cool a little bit, because if you put your fingers here too soon, you're going to feel the warmth of that hot glue on the opposite side. But you're going to pinch the petal and you're going to push those edges into the rosebud, but continue pushing forward so that way it gets a little bit closer. This is about 1 inch away in the placement. Now, you don't want to wait too long because I'm using Gorilla Hot Glue Sticks and they dry so quickly. So I did have to add some additional glue because that edge did dry pretty fast. Okay, and I'm going to go to the opposite side. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add my glue. I'm going to pinch Push those edges into the rosebud until it's about the same distance away from the left petal. And then push those edges down. Okay. Now I'm going to rotate this so that way I have my left and my right again. I'm going to repeat those steps. Add glue. Straight edge goes up to the crease. Glue, glue. Pinch, push in until those petals get a little bit closer. Thank you everyone for being here, and to those that are watching the replay, thank you, thank you. This video, live video, will be saved so you can replay at your own time and pace. Petal on the right is going to go up. Add your glue, you're going to pinch again, and then push those edges into the petals in front of it. And this completes your first 16 petals, which were all petal size 9. Now we're going into our 5 layers of petal 10. So the rest of these layers are all going to be curled. So I'm going to take my 5/16 dowel and I'm going to curl 4 petals at a time. Hey, Judy, no worries. I saw the J. And then I'm going to crease the bottom. Okay. So again, curl these petals, crease the bottom. Now we're going to change up the placement. We're not going to go and follow the open sides. We're going to go to the corners. So I'm going to take my first petal. I'm going to add glue to the center area for this first layer of petal 10. I'm going to take a corner and bring it up to the crease. I'm going to lift this just to make sure that it's being placed in between the petals in front of it. Okay, so let it dry on the base. Now, once it's set, you're going to go ahead and add your glue on the inner edges. Now, I'm adding a little bit more glue, probably about 1.25 inch line of glue. I'm going to pinch the petals, and again, I'm going to push up and let that hot glue smear along the way, so that way it creates more, it grabs on to more of that petal as you push inward. And then we're going to go to the opposite side. You're going to add your glue. You're going to make sure that this petal is placed in between the 2 petals here. And then you're going to add your glue on the inner edges. I'm going to push, and I'm just going to smear that glue along those edges, and then just push from the back sides. Now this is going to begin to look funky. We're not going to let that affect what we see up here. Okay, our goal is what it looks like from the top, not from the bottom. Nope, that just flew over. So now we're going to rotate this, and again we're going to the left and the right. Going to add the glue to the center, place up to the crease, make sure that corner goes up to the crease. I'm going to go ahead and add glue on the inner edges. I'm going to push, okay, and push those edges. You want this to have a curve. You want this to stick out in the center of the petal because it gives detail and dimension to your layers. Okay, now I'm going to go to the right side. Make sure that this petal goes to the center. Glue, glue. Pinch. And then just slide that petal, sorry, into those edges and just push down. Thank you to everyone who is here watching the live. I appreciate you guys. Now, we're going to our next set of petal 10. Again, we're going to curl and crease. You're going to continue to go to the corners, which is the in-between area of the two previous petals in that layer. So I'm going to go ahead and add my glue. I'm going to bring it up to the crease, making sure that this petal is going to lift in between. I'm going to add glue. And then push those edges into the petals in front of it. Now you can put pressure from the inside of the previous layer petals while you're pushing on the outside, just so that way it grabs on. And do the same for the opposite side. Okay, before it settles, make sure when you lift it, it's centered. Add your glue. Push up and just push down on those sides. You're going to feel the warmth, but just be very careful with this process. Okay. Now, going here to the next section, bring it up to the crease. Oh, I'm pushing down too much and not letting it dry. Hey, Tina. Right? I hardly use this color. It is from the Purple Passion paper pack. Okay. I'm going to push up. Just like that. And then go to the right side. Or I shift it to where it's on the top side, just because of the way that we work here. This cardstock is pretty smooth. I feel like it's going to slip out of my hands. Going to pinch and lift up. Just like that. Now, 3 more layers to go, guys, and we'll be almost done. I'm going to go to my next layer, which is layer 3 of petal 10. And again, we're going to crease the tabs and curl the petals outward. We're going to add glue to the base of the tab, go up to the corner in between the previous 2 petals. You will add glue on the inner edges, okay, going back to about 1 inch. And then all you're going to do is push these edges here, let it bend slightly, and then just push those into the petals in front of it. Sorry guys, I gotta plug in my iPad over here. And then we're gonna go opposite side. Go up to that point. Make sure it's centered. Glue, glue. Pinch just slightly, and then push those edges into the petals in front of it. So as you continue adding petals, the back side of the petals are going to get more flat. It's going to eventually be flat back here. I'm I'm going to go here to this next corner, same thing, up to the crease. Glue, glue, pinch, and press. Oh. Again, if you need to put pressure from the inside, do that from the petals in front, just so it's going to grab on to those petals. Last petal for this layer. Again, slightly curve and push those petals into the petals in front of it. Sorry guys, I'm trying not to be out of camera. There, we're gonna go back to regular. Hey Patricia. Now 2 more layers to go, and these 2 layers, the crease does not, you do not need to focus on that, because it's more so about the petal placement. So you see you have this build up here and these layers that can be seen. We're going to cover those. So I'm going to take my next petals and I'm going to pretend there's a line that goes here, a halfway point. My first petal of the next layer is going to get glue on the base tab, and I'm going to flip it to where the straight edge goes up to that midway point. I'm going to flip it over just to make sure that the petal is centered, right? If it is, then you can add your glue on the inner bottom edges and then just push those edges into the petals that are in front of it. And then you're going to do the same thing for the opposite side. You're going to add your glue to the base tab, flip it, align it, rotate to make sure that it's actually centered before you officially push down on that hot glue. And then you can add glue to the inner edges and then just push those down. And now we have to do the same thing we just did. We're going to do, again, guesstimating the center area, the halfway point. Add your glue to the base tab, flip it and attach. Rotate to make sure that it is centered. Glue on the inside. And then press down. This is from the lavender color from the Purple Passion paper pack. I hardly use this color, but it's a very nice spring Easter color. So that's why I went with it today. Our last petal for this layer, glue on the bottom tab, flip it, align it with the halfway point, quickly move over or upside down to make sure that it's centered. Add your glue on the inner edges. Thank you, Deborah. And we're going to press those edges down. Okay. And we have one final layer, guys, to make or to add. Now, the placement for this layer is going to be focused on what you see from the top. You want to make sure that this layer rounds out the layer we just added. You don't want it to stick out. You don't want it to be extra standing out like this. You want it just to align with the layer, the 2 petals that are on each side of it. Okay, very minimal. It's just going to allow our rose to be more of a rounded shape. So I'm looking at it from y'all's angle. I'm going to place it, excuse me, and then that's where it's going to sit, okay? I'm going to flip it over, 1 dot of glue on the inner bottom edges because this is more flat And I'm just going to push those into those petals. So you could see how much more flat it has become as we've built our layers. Now I'm going to go to the opposite side. Again, the placement for the final layer is all about rounding your flower off. So I'm going to take it here. Add my glue. The glue gets less and less as you get to these outer layers because they are more flat. And then you have your final two that are going to go here. So again, I'm going to add my glue. I do want to say thank you guys for hanging out with me today here on YouTube Live. This is my second official video tutorial here, and I think things are going well. So I appreciate y'all's support. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future lives. I do still intend to go live on Facebook. I'm just mad at them right now. Because I can't do lives in landscape over there with my phone. It's unfortunate, but they like to pick on Android users. Last petal is gonna go, oh geez, sorry. I'm like, where am I? Is here. So again, just allowing it to round out. Add your glue and press down. Desiree, this is from the Purple Passion paper pack. It's a lavender color. I want to say it's like the second or third darkest shade from Purple Passion. Or maybe the second. I think it's the second lightest shade. And there we go. From Michaels. And you've completed your Destinee Rose. Petals 9 and 10, 16 of petal 9 and 20 of petal 10. And this is giving us a 9-inch rose. And this is the largest rose size you can make with Destinee Rose. The smallest you can make is like 3.5 to 4 inches. So don't forget, you can purchase your printable Forever Petals by V paper flower templates from my YouTube, from my Etsy shop. I did put the link in the description of this live video. I do offer them in printable format, but I do not include written instructions because of the detailed tutorials right here on YouTube as well as over on Facebook. And this template is 50% off for the month of February 2024. So be sure to grab it before the sale ends. But actually for the month of March 2024, it's my birthday month. So y'all are going to get an even bigger discount on all of my templates. But if you want to purchase now, that'll be great. Desiree, I'm going to have to test that out for sure. So yeah, guys, thank you again so much. I hope y'all enjoyed this live. I will see you guys later this week. Be sure to check out my calendar posted on my Facebook page. And have a great rest of your day and happy early Valentine's Day.